Hello, my name is Casey Shreve, and I'm a game design student at Johnson County Community College. Today I'd like to talk to you about a final project that I made for rapid prototyping, a class that gives you 2 weeks to develop a game with a given theme. The final project's theme was make a game. Could be any game, any way you'd like, as long as it was a game. I chose to make a game based on my studies in film in the University of Kansas. There I studied German Expressionism of the 1910s to 1930s, and I wanted to make a game that is similar to the use of lighting within those films, specifically directors like Fritz Lang. German Expressionism is the lead up to what we would call film noir. And just like first-person shooter describes a technology and not a genre, film noir also describes a technology and not detective movies. Film noir is a specific lighting technique that has stark contrast between very bright lights and very dark darks. So with that, I made a game called Light and Dark. This is my first attempt at a first-person shooter. As you can see, you have your reticle, and you're looking and moving. I also wanted to take this time as a new way to teach players about playing a level by making controls painted on the level themselves. You can see that the light exposure is extreme contrast to where there is light and where there is not light. There is no shooting in this game, only movement. I also wanted to add kind of like a sense of things to do in the game, like hiding in these little alcoves. Here we come to another part of the game that I wanted to teach the player, clicking lights. The reticle itself, you'll notice, changes size as it touches objects, and this is because the reticle is a projection that goes from your camera onto a surface. It is a particle effect using a particle generator from the Unity Asset Store. Look at that sparkle shiny. There is no sound in the game other than a sound of different versions of noise, sound grain, static. These are on the lighting effects and the monsters. Something that went wrong with this game was hitboxes. There are a lot of hitboxes in this tiny little space, and a lot of them are not the same size as the objects that they are affecting. As you can see with this light, your projected reticle projects onto the hitbox, even though the light is smaller than the hitbox itself. This game, I wanted to focus a little bit on the nature of ambivalence. Ambivalence specifically on how we see lightness, things that are black and things that are white, light and dark. The idea behind this ambivalence is that there is a trade-off, and neither is better than the other. With light, you can see where you're going, but the trade-off is the monsters can see you as well. With darkness, you are safe from the monsters, but the trade-off is you cannot see where you are going. So, with this light here, we will see our first monster. Notice how the monster is at the end of the little tiny walkway. So if you go straight without hitting the light, you will hit the monster. The trick with this is to get the monster into this center line without the monster getting you. If the monster gets you, you die, and you go all the way back to the beginning and have to face him again. I also wanted to use light as a way to tell the player where to go. Because if you try to go away from the light, you only get a small distance. Once again, something that went wrong are collision. However, something that I learned from this game is the use of kinetic triggers and kinetic rigid bodies. Using a trigger would prevent the reticle from getting these strange shapes as it projects, because it will not project onto a trigger. I was particularly proud of this moment within the game, this kind of long hallway, where the light turns on as you go down it. And it stays on too, so you can see distance. The light in front fades into view, and you see these large red eyes circling around. Doing a small little test, you can see the eyes are these gross, spiky spheres. Too much light, and they zero on in your position. Oh boy. There they go. Now they are attached to this sphere inside this room. So when the light here goes down, even though you may be standing in the brightest of these lights here, they won't be able to see you as soon as this light in here goes dark. The idea with this room is to keep just enough light so you can see where these little alcoves are. These little rooms on either side. And then you go alcove to alcove, making sure that you're not being pretty much grabbed by the monsters. The monsters emit more static, so as they get closer, the static gets louder. Here's a terrifying part. The whole level lights up and there is no escape from the monsters. They are slightly faster than you, and they will get you if you don't get to the door in time. But I'm awesome. So, that is my prototype for my final project for Rapid Prototyping class. As you can see, this is the final version of my credits shooter. You can see that it has gone through yet another change, specifically lighting. It is more in tune with the actual game and is less immersion breaking. One of the things that I really should have done with this particular credit shooter is I should have changed the controls from the arrow keys to WASD. Because so that way you wouldn't have to switch control schemes between the credits and the main game. Once again, I would like to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the presentation on light and dark. If you would like to play more of my prototypes, you can find them in the link below at the itch.io repository. Please feel free to comment, follow, subscribe, like, and whichever you will. Once again, my name is Casey Shreve, and thank you for watching. Have a good one.